Oh, yeah, guys. You already know what time it is. Buckeye Nation, what's poppin'? Crazy Dog coming at you once again on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel with my Ohio State Buckeyes Oregon Ducks Week 7 game preview as our number 2 ranked 5-0 Ohio State Buckeyes travel out west to Eugene, Oregon, Autzen Stadium to face off against the number 3 ranked, also 5-0 Oregon Ducks in what is without a doubt not only one of the bigger games of the weekend, but in terms of Ohio State so far, it's without a doubt the biggest game on the schedule. I already know Buckeyes and Ducks fans had this game circled in marker when this schedule was released. The moment they released the schedule for this season, both fan bases saw this game and they circled it in bright red marker because this is without a doubt the game of the year. That's just the vibe that it's giving off. I mean, Oregon is going to have one of the bigger recruiting weekends they've ever had. And you know there's going to be some Ohio State targets there too. Kids that Ohio State wanted really bad are going to be there. In fact, there's going to be an Ohio State commit that's going to be there. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe we can impress some of those kids and convince them to jump over to the good side, right? Yeah. Yeah, we got a matchup of two of the top 3 teams in the nation. And the way I see it, this is the first of 2, possibly 3 matchups this year. Because the way I see it, we could easily see these guys again in the Big Ten title game. And then if the cards fall right, we could see these guys for a 3rd time in the college football playoff. Now, the only teams in the way of a Big Ten championship rematch, of course, are Indiana and Penn State, who are both undefeated as well, but we also play them both in a few weeks. Now, I'm not sleeping on Nebraska or Washington, but they've already got a couple losses. Not to mention they both have a loss in conference, so they're already up against it. But we'll see what happens, right? You know, as we get closer to the end of the season, we will definitely know who will be matching up in the Big Ten championship game. Of course, the Big Ten no longer has divisions, so you don't know what the matchup's going to be for real. That's the exciting part about it. But historically, you look at this matchup. Of course, Ohio State has dominated. They are 9-1 overall against the Ducks. Of course, that one loss came in 2021. And I tell you what, Oregon fans have not hesitated to let us know about it. Any chance they get, they remind us of 2021. Oh, CJ Fiddel's still running. Well, you know what, Oregon fans? Ezekiel Elliott's been running for about a decade now. You can do it too, you know, right? Because we've been whooping their ass before 2021. And that 2021 team was so damn unserious, especially on defense, man. If CJ Stroud had this defense, bet you he wins at least one natty. No, he had to have the Kerry Combs defense. Oh, God. Talk about an abomination. God, man. I need Ohio State to go out there and just whoop some duck ass tomorrow night. I want us to have some roasted duck. Now, of course, it's not going to be easy, right? Because, you know, Autzen Stadium, despite the size, is actually a very loud environment. I didn't even know that, but they only house 54,000 people. They only seat 54K. Ohio Stadium, twice that. Same thing with the Big House, and I'm pretty sure Happy Valley around that number too. Damn near 100K. Right around that number. So, like, don't go acting like Ohio State has never played in a hostile environment. Not to mention, look at the transfers we brought in. We brought in guys from the SC freaking C who have played in some of the biggest, most hostile environments in the nation. Caleb Downs, Seth McLaughlin, Quinshawn Judkins. They've played at hostile environments, right? Don't go telling me that freaking, Athens, Georgia isn't a hostile environment. What about Neyland Stadium? When they're popping, right? That's a pretty hostile environment. I guess you could say the Swamp is a hostile environment, but they're not very good. So like that environment's been kind of tampered, but it's kind of died down. But when they're popping off too, they could be pretty. That's a pretty hostile environment. Don't go talking like, oh, Ohio State's never, their players have never played in a big time environment before. Trust me, they have. Now you look at Oregon's season so far, right? Of course, we like to criticize them for what they did earlier this year, where they barely beat Idaho and Boise State. They beat Idaho by 10 points, 24-14. Idaho damn you had a chance to beat them late in that game. Boise, with one of the best running backs we've ever seen, Oregon barely beat them by 3 points. In fact, it looked like Boise was going to beat them until Oregon took control late. Now, since then, to their credit, they have taken control and they have dominated Oregon State, UCLA, and Sparty, which, I mean, we did too, so yeah, whatever. Now, on the contrary, Ohio State has straight up dominated every team they've played. They beat up on Akron, Western Michigan, and Marshall, and then they smacked Sparty and beat the crap out of Iowa. Yeah, and Iowa's a solid defensive team, and we smoked them. Granted, it was very close at halftime again, but Ohio State woke up in the second half. That seems to be what they do. They kind of lollygag around in the first half, they feel the opponent out, and then they make adjustments in the second half, and then they just turn up. I don't think it'll be like that this week. I think it'll be a very, very, very close game, believe it or not. Now, heading into my keys to a Buckeye dub, be sure as always to hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell, get this channel out there. Share my videos out because the more people that watch, the more my videos get sent out to Buckeye Nation, man. We're trying to grow this channel. And my main channel has been popping off. I'm trying to grow this channel, right? So help me out with that, please. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, looking at my keys to a Buckeye dub. Key number one, this is big. Set the tone on defense. If the defense gets the ball to start the game, which I wouldn't mind that, go out there and pitch a 3-and-out. Right? Don't even let them move the ball. And then the offense gets the ball, they go right down the field and they score. Set the tone. Kind of ties in with my second key. Score first and score often. That crowd out too. So essentially, all three keys kind of tie into one another, right? You set the tone on defense, you score first, and then you score often, and that'll take the crowd out of the game. Because, yeah, that place can be loud, but I want that place to either sound like a damn library or I want that place to sound like the Horseshoe out west because I heard there's going to be quite a bit of scarlet in the stadium. We'll see, though. Because I heard a lot of Buckeye fans are traveling. I mean, that's one thing that Buckeye fans do. They travel. People sleep on that, but yeah, this fan base travels. We have one of the largest college football fan bases in the nation. Like, this fan base will go anywhere. They will go to the ends of the earth to watch their squad. We could have us playing an international game in Australia, and I'm sure Buckeye fans will, take over whatever stadium they have us playing in. It's just the way this fan base is. We travel. We've went as far as the Rose Bowl. And you see that stadium, it is jam-packed with Buckeye fans. Most of it's a big game. I mean, of course, that Utah game, I guess Buckeye fans just really weren't feeling it. But, yeah, we're not feeling it. We could take over any stadium. Look at freaking Notre Dame a couple years ago. There's a lot of scarlet there. But yeah, take the crowd out of the game and, yeah, see what happens from there. Now, moving on to my players to watch. On offense, I'm going with the receiver core again. And this is going to be a big matchup because You look at their secondary, right? Now, again, I'm going to talk about their height. Now, height and stuff doesn't really matter when you can jump out the gym. But man, these are some big ass mountains these corners are going up against. For real. Because they got Tyshim Johnson, 5'10 senior. Nico Reed, 5'10 senior. Brandon Johnson, 5'10 senior. And then their transfer, Jabbar Muhammad, 5'10 senior. But why does that matter? Why is that relevant? They're going up against Jeremiah Smith, 6'3. Emeka Egbuka, 6'1. Carnell Tate, 6'3. You could honestly put Brandon Innes out there too. He's up there. But you got Jabbar Muhammad, 5'10, 185, going up against big ass Jeremiah Smith, 6'3, 215. And like I've said before about Jeremiah, he is as hell. He's a physical receiver, and he runs like a damn gazelle. You just watch him on tape, and it's like, oh my god, gazelle. Not to mention, he has hands like glue. We've seen this dude against Sparty, essentially what back-to-back plays, make one-handed catches. It's damn near unguardable. I mean, imagine trying to bring him down. He's too damn strong. You're trying to leg tackle him. You know, you're trying to bring him down by the ankles. He'll just shake you off like nothing. Like, get off me. That's the way he is, man. He's such a damn big receiver, and I love it. He's like Marv if Marv was fast like a damn gazelle, which Marv was low-key fast, but Marv was more of a big-ass dude who could just catch over everybody. This dude's got that Ted Ginn speed with the body of Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, damn. Did the lab that made Myles Garrett make Jeremiah too? Like, he's doing this stuff as a damn freshman. Imagine what he'd do as a junior. But yeah, our receiving core needs to go out there and make plays. It's that simple. And they'll also be helped out by our run game. Because if our run game gets going, ooh, man, watch out. Not to mention, Will Howard can actually run, which is also a threat too. Because when he does that RPO, you don't know where the ball is going. Is he going to keep it? Is he going to hand it off? Or is he going to get you over the top? Right? It's what I love about having a dual threat quarterback who can run and throw. That just makes the RPO that much more lethal. Now on defense, I'm rolling with the front seven again because they did a great job stopping Caleb Johnson last week. Now this week they're going up against another stud running back in Jordan James, who's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, if they can stop the run, of course, it would also be helped out by if our offense just goes out there and lights them up. Because if you force Dylan Gabriel to pass, that allows JT, who I think is from the area, believe it or not. I think he's from Washington. So yeah, that allows JT and Jack to pin their ears back and go hunting. To mention, you're forcing Dylan Gabriel to have to throw against our secondary. Now, when our secondary is actually playing in the right scheme, which they've been playing zone a bit, I'm sure they're going to be playing some zone because they're not trying to get beat deep. I mean, you got Davison Igbinosun, Denzel Burke, Jordan Hancock at safety, Lathan Ransom, and Caleb Downs. If you force Dylan Gabriel to have to throw the ball against our secondary, he's prone to making bad decisions and throwing some interceptions like he did last week. He threw 2 bad interceptions in the red zone. And we all know, you do that against Ohio State, we're going to make you pay. That's just the way it is. You cannot give Ohio State more chances to beat you than they already will have. I just feel like Ohio State's going to go out there and take care of business. Now, getting into my prediction, and I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I think it'll be close for a while. But of course, I have Ohio State pulling away late. 35-24 Buckeyes win. I think Oregon cuts it to 4 late. I think it'll be 28-24 late in the game. Ohio State has a big balls drive. They go down the field, they put up another touchdown, and they put the game away, and they win 35-24 in an absolute slugfest. I can see this game coming down to the final possession, honestly. But we'll see what happens. This is going to be a banger game. I cannot wait. And for those wondering, I will be streaming this game on the main channel. I know some people are wondering, am I going to be doing Guardians and Tigers? No, because I don't really feel good about that game. We're facing Tarek's Schoolball. And not to mention, this is a big ass college game, so I'm going to be doing this game. I will have the score of the Guardians Tigers game on the screen like I did last week. So, it should be a good one. And can't wait. But as always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you guys tomorrow night for Ohio State, Oregon on the main channel. With that being said, I'm Crazy Dog coming at you as always on the Buckin' Crazy YouTube channel. Let's go Bucks. OH. I'm out. Bye-bye.